Good morning, Nosy Neighbors fans. I am hoping the sound is working this time. So you probably saw us going through the last video and it didn't have any sound, so we're going again. Thank you for joining us today. We are, this is Jessica Cardon with Nosy Neighbors, Murdock Manwaring Company, a real estate group at Keller Williams Realty East, Idaho. We are visiting Blue Line Judo today. We are at 1808 East Piper Way, which is right on the corner of Piper and Boeing, just off of Yellowstone Highway, just north of Woodruff. So it's super easy to find, but it's in this group of really cool modern industrial buildings. And you come back, it is the end one. There's no sign on the outside of the building yet because this is a newer location for them, but it's easy to find right here on the end. We are going to visit with the owner today and ask all these questions about Blue Line Judo and this really cool sport. By the way, if you love local businesses, please like and follow the Nosy Neighbors page. Go and check out our local businesses and see all these cool features all these cool businesses that we have locally. And if you love local businesses and the local area, which is real estate, which is what we do. We do all of this for free so that we can give it back to our community. But how you support local is helping us, letting us help you sell and buy real estate. It is a great time to do so. So get ahead on over there, check it out. Every month we do an update on the market stats. We just did the year-end market stats. So if you'd like to get those in your email, just go to mmcidaho.com. At the top, click on getting the newsletter, and we'll get that to you in your email every month. All right, let's get in here and let's talk to Janna about Blue Line Judo. Well, hi, guys. Welcome. You here. So, Janna, tell us who you are.
My name is Janna Van Witbeck, and I'm the head coach at Blue Line Judo.
Fantastic. So what is Blue Line Judo?
So judo is an Olympic sport. It's a grappling sport that involves mostly staying on your feet, standing, learning how to grab onto your opponent and throw them to their back.
Oh, well, there you go. So it is not a wrestle on the ground as much as standing to get somebody onto the ground.
Right. Just as a quick stereotype, I describe it that way, but we do have a lot of groundwork in the sport, as you know, jiu-jitsu does both also. But to stereotype, generally you say judo is 90% on their feet and jiu-jitsu is more on the ground.
Oh, that makes sense. Perfect. And so tell us what you guys do here. What is Blue Line? Is this a gym to come and work out? Is it classes? How does that work?
Yeah, we have classes for kids and adults and for beginners, and we have a lot of advanced students already because I've been open since 2016. So we've got the full gamut, but there's a lot of beginners coming in right now. This is a great time to join.
So if they have questions about joining or want to find out more, where do they go to find out all that information?
I have a website. It's bluelinejudo.com.
Link below.
And I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, and I even have a TikTok channel under Judo Fit.
Very cool. Very cool. So you are saying is this kids? Is it adults? What's the gamut of who would come to Blue Line?
So I start with age age 6 and older. I like to be able to really give a product that can show results. I don't want to just be babysitting people's kids. I want to teach them judo.
Yeah.
So we started at age 6, and we got a good group that goes all the way up to teenagers. And then adults, also beginner adults, both male and female.
Gotcha. So if kids are coming here, can their parents come and watch? I noticed this as we look through the gym. Parents can come and watch and be here when their kids are here.
Yes, it really depends on the student and the parents. Some kids feel more comfortable if their parents are here with them, and we have a seating area. You're certainly welcome to stay. And then as they get more accustomed to me and what they're doing, their parents are certainly welcome to just drop your kid off.
Well, this is a gorgeous facility, and it looks beautiful. So tell us about this. I mean, this is amazing.
Thanks. These are called tatami mats, and they're intentionally stiffer than wrestling mats. And that's because in judo, we do foot sweeps. We sweep people right off their feet.
Sweep the leg?
Yes, kind of.
Not like sweep the leg, but
good job of putting that in there. That's good. We don't sink into these mats. And then underneath these mats, we have springs. So it bounces. And this is why I hashtag not your father's judo, because the way that I had to learn judo was on rock hard mats with big, huge dudes. Now we train with crash pads and, like the give underneath the mats. It's a lot more physically pleasant experience.
A little more of a comfortable learning environment than the old, I got to walk uphill both ways in the snow type of stuff.
Yes.
So who would be attracted to judo? What would make this sport something that someone would want to come and check out? How does it vary from like a traditional sport versus kind of how does that work?
So like I said, I've been teaching professionally since 2016. And I think one of the best attributes of this sport is that I'm teaching kids and adults a safe place to learn how to manage their anxiety.
Oh, interesting.
So I tell the kids, like, before a tournament, this is all just for pretend, right? Your body is going to be like, we're going to die. What are we thinking? It's going to be setting off all these alarms, but really you're just in a sport and you're going to live through it. This is just going to be a few hours. We're going to get through this. And so, I always teach my advanced students to take care of our new students. Don't let a white belt just sit there by themselves. You get in your head, you start to freak out. You're like, you get so much anxiety. You're like, I don't think I can do this. I don't want to do this. Like, you need a peer that's just a little bit older than you, has a lot more experience. And maybe that peer is pretending to be confident for the first time too, because they used to be the white belt that was sitting there. I always really try to make sure that everybody gets taken care of and supported, and that we're able to go through this exercise of doing something that is, judo tournaments are kind of formal, and it adds to the tension, and it just makes everybody just feels a little bit more nervous. Yeah. And this is a safe place to learn how to manage your anxiety.
Oh, that's really smart. And then that's a lot of times kids get into sports and things to do that, to start to work through and have the confidence and be able to do something. And this is an individual sport, but it's also can be kind of team oriented at the same time, so you get the best of both worlds? Yeah,
at the end of the day, when you go out to compete, it's just you and your competitor, and there's nobody you can blame. You can't be like, they set me up the wrong way, they didn't pass the ball the way that, It's just you and the person that you're competing against. And so, but I really try to foster a team environment where you don't sit alone on the bleachers. You take care of each other. When you go out and you lose a match, which you will, there is nobody that is exempt from that experience. You're going to lose. I always tell my students, you're allowed to go into the bathroom and have a mental breakdown for 2 minutes. Yeah. And then you need to pull yourself back up and come out and take care of the rest of your team. We've got other people still competing. You need to be out there cheering them on, and supporting them, and get over it and get back up.
And get back on your feet.
And also, that goes with winning too. Yeah. You will win. And it is the most exhilarating, incredible feeling in the world. And the kids just light up. They can't believe it when they win a match. It's incredible to throw another human and have them land on their back. And I've learned there comes some learning with that too. You need to learn how to win without getting arrogant and bratty about it, or still make sure you take care of not just your team. I also try to foster a culture of taking care of our other competitors. Like, these other teams are not our villains. Oh, yeah. They're just like us. They're just trying to learn the sport, and we're all doing our best to perpetuate the sport. So take care of them too. There's no need for mean mugging people. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and so wait, I didn't ask this. So you were talking about competition. You're talking about team. So can someone, if they don't want to compete, still work out with you here in the gym, come and take class? How does that work? Yeah, that's a great question. So the first goal you have when you sign up for Blue Line Judo is to earn your competition team patch. So this means that you've passed the competition test and you now get to wear the Blue Line Judo competition patch, and you're not required to compete. There's no pressure to do that. You don't have to be a competitor, but you now know you have the skills that it takes to win a judo match. Very cool. To win a judo tournament, really. So how much does this cost? So if somebody wants to get in and start, what's the cost that they're expecting? So we train 2 to 3 days a week, and a 3-month membership is $100 a month. So a 3-month membership is $300, or you can pay month to month for $125. Oh, there you go. And then things like tournaments and things are kind of on top of that. And it kind of goes with what you decide you want to do. Correct. And so there are a lot of local tournaments here in the state of Idaho. This is like a little known fact about the state of Idaho. So when I started judo back in 1992, my sensei was an old Japanese man. And so these tournaments that we go to are literally the 82nd annual. We go to Emmett, it's like the 55th annual. It blows my mind. And I'm like, that's got to be his heritage, because he was already old when I met him. Yeah. So why are these really old tournaments? And they're about $30 entry fee. And, there's ways to keep it fairly inexpensive. You can always ride with another family or ride with coach. But yeah, we go as a team, and there's a lot of tournaments just right here in our own state.
So it isn't just something like just once a year you get to do a tournament. There's stuff that you can do all along if that's something that you're passionate about, competing as well as training.
Yes, you want to hit these local tournaments, including the Salt Lake area. We go to Ontario, Oregon as our next tournament. And then we also try to do one nationals a year. And that you don't even have to be on the advanced team to go to that nationals. There's a white belt division at nationals. So it's really cool. When you go to a tournament, you compete with somebody who's your age and your size and skill level.
Yeah, makes sense. So okay. So let me think of I was thinking is who would do this? I naturally think to myself, this seems like a painful type of a sport. And what did they get out of it? What would make someone want to do this as a sport? I mean, I guess every sport has some pain involved, but this seems like it's really like that's what we're gonna.
Well, I'd be lying if I was like, no, it's not. Like, no, you judo breeds tough people.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
but.
Imagine no confidence comes from that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the things I do, I always tell people you're always welcome to come to a free class. And it really only takes one class to know if you like the sport or not. I always say that, like, if you don't like judo today, like, you're really going to hate it in a year.
Yeah.
But, most of the time, I see a kid, they get their very first throw, they get thrown, and I ask them, how was it? And a lot of times I see a smile on their face, and I'm like, I think you might be a judo nerd. We're a certain breed.
Yeah.
And the fact that you just got thrown and thought that was fun,
yeah.
I think that you might be like us.
Yeah, welcome to the club. Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. All right, what did I miss? What did we not talk about? Anything that they need to know if they're interested in checking things out? Yeah,
just find me on Facebook. You can message me on Instagram, on Facebook, or through my website. And if you want to just come in and drop in on a class, come in on Monday or a Wednesday. A lot of times on Saturday practice, we train at Saturday at 11, but if we're at a tournament, we're not here. So if you're just going to drop in without communicating with me ahead of time, come on a Monday or a Wednesday. And you're welcome just to audit, just to sit on the chair. There'll be no pressure. But if you want to come and maybe, try some moves, you don't need to have a judo suit. You can just wear, like I say, yoga clothes, things that don't have metal on them.
Makes sense. So you talked about belts before we go. What are all the belts and how does that work?
So for kids, it's a white belt, yellow, orange, green, purple, and then brown. Wow. And we have 2 brown belts training now, 2 teenage brown belts. They're phenomenal. They know so much. They've been at it. One of them has had over 700 classes. He's just got so much knowledge and done so much. And for adults, you start as a white belt, and there's 3 degrees of brown and black belt. And I should note that becoming a black belt in judo as an adult takes on average about 4 years, whereas jiu-jitsu, I love the sport jiu-jitsu, that takes more like 15 years. So if you have a goal of, I want to be a judo black belt, that's very attainable.
Very cool. That's very cool. All right. Perfect. Tell us one more time how we get a hold of it and how much it costs.
So month to month is $125. If you do a 3-month commitment, it's $300 for 3 months.
Very cool. And they just go on your website or they give you a call?
Yeah, just message me and we'll get it figured out.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Janna. This is really, really cool. Really cool sport. I love a good sport that if someone says, I'm not into this stuff, there's something else that could be really amazing for adults and kids to be active.
Yeah.
Really cool. You guys check it out. It is Blue Line Judo here in Idaho Falls. Check out all the links below. Come and take a look. If you're just wondering it's for you, come and check out one of the classes. And really, really cool sport, really cool club right here in Idaho Falls. All right, this has been Jessica Cardon with the Nosy Neighbors at Murdock Manwaring Company, keeping you in the know.